I've been looking forward to this retreat ever since the title came out. And I really resonate with the frame. There was something, I wanted to know more about this frame. Just the title made sense. And I see since the first teaching, I have all these questions about the frame, and I'm focusing on the frame. And I didn't even know which one to ask. And then your response to one of the recent questions that you just answered online was, why do you need to know? And I'm seeing, the more I'm focusing on the frame, it's just a defense, I feel, in order to not break through the frame.
That's right. Good insight.
And because I'm looking at all the ways I like to maintain the frame. A lot of maintenance. I like maintenance.
Sure. Comfort zone.
Yeah. And gotta polish it with beliefs. You know, that's what I see. It's just polishing with beliefs.
Beliefs that you don't really believe.
Yeah. They're just, you have to keep them coming.
The ego will do that. It'll supply you with as many delusional beliefs as you want.
Yeah. So I guess want to share that I really appreciate this metaphor, and I hope to not get stuck in the frame. And
well, you're halfway out just by realizing what you've already seen. And the frame is the cause of suffering. It's not keeping you in a comfort zone. It's actually creating some discomfort that you're in denial of, and you're trying to suppress out of the frame. But more and more, it'll be in the frame. And when that's in the frame, you'll want out completely.
Yeah, I feel like the ego thinks it's so comfortable and wonderful in the frame. It's a total delusion because it's just suffering, the ego suffering. But
the image in the frame is the ideal ego, right? The one Mama loved.
So I have to polish the frame a lot.
Keep that polished.
Yes, and then the alternative is disidentification, just total... the ego will melt away, so I'd rather just have that suffering and keep the frame together as much as it can.
Why? What's wrong with freedom? You see, why are you rejecting freedom and infinite presence? You know, that's deathless and was never born to suffer at all. Why? Wouldn't that be a much better unframing to experience rather than being stuck in this prison that a frame is, right? Why not be infinite?
I have no argument. It makes total sense. Yet, I still try to polish the frame.
Your ego does. When you realize that's not who you are, that's the character, you don't need to fight with it or change its attitude. You just say, bye-bye, and realize that you are the light of pure consciousness, and all along that's all you've ever been. And you give up the ghost. You stop projecting and investing everything in this bodily form and its framing psychologically of the past as being a golden age and et cetera, et cetera. And in that freedom, you will realize the powers of God consciousness that are your birthright, that you have cheated yourself up to now. And then you will realize, why not claim the grace that God is offering?
So in silence, in presence, there's no frame. Does it just dissolve?
Yes. It will dissolve as long as you're not attached to identifying from it, with it. And when you are in attunement and resonance with the blissful light of the self that will emerge when you are in the silence long enough, and you'll see the reflection of the moon, right, in the bucket of the mind, and then follow it to the source, and that'll bring you to the sun and complete liberation.
Okay, I do want to ask one question, though, about this frame. One more.
Sure.
Where does a sensor play? Where's the role of the sensor in the frame?
Well, the sensor is both hiding from you the fact that it's not a comfort zone, right? And making you believe it is with selective suppression and repression of facts, right? And the sensor is producing superego voices that intimidate you from breaking the frame. Mom will be very unhappy if you break that frame, right? You owe it to the family system. You owe it to et cetera, right? So those voices are the stick, and then you've got the carrot of the fantasies that you're actually happy.
Thank you.
My pleasure.